Right, greetings. YouTube is telling me I'm live. I will wait for 10 seconds because that is the lag time. Right, greetings everybody. Today we have a special live. We have a show and tell. I have left it rather late in the evening here in Perth, Western Australia, because usually, and I say usually, I've only done 2 previous live streams, but most of the people who are watching my live streams are indeed in America, not in Australia. So I have left it a little bit later today, just for my overseas viewers. As the title of the video says, it is a show and tell. Just like when you're at primary school and you had to bring up your toy car or your Barbie doll or something like that, something interesting which you can tell a story about. Maybe perhaps something on the weekend that you did, and then your parents took you along to the little shop just as you were shuffled through to the exit, but there was a gift store and you bought something, and then you could take that to school the next day and have a bit of a show and tell. So we do have a show and tell today. It's all the same topic, but we do have 2 separate things that I'd like to show you today. One of them, interestingly, does have a copyright restriction on it. So I'm going to have to be very careful about how I present this item to you for this show and tell, but I will show and tell as much as I think I can. And in the second one, I really have a lot of items. Oh, I'm really impressed with this part of the show and tell, brought to you by the illustrious Premier here in Western Australia, Mr. Mark McGowan. And it is from him, a personal gift from Mr. Mark McGowan. So I cannot wait to show that to you. I appreciate we have 4 people watching already. That's great. What a number. But yeah, there are so many things, and I've called it show and tell, but actually it's a whole load of propaganda. And that's what children and even the adults that don't have half a brain succumb to is thought I turned that on to silent. Clearly didn't. That's what the adults and the children, propaganda, it's all propaganda. Right, so I might just get on and show you the first item of the show and tell. Now, let me tell you a bit of a story before I show it to you. I went to my local library in my local area. I do live in a very small town. Not a lot of people here. I am a bush person. I live in the bush. I'm a bush lady. But I did go to my local library and I did pick up some books and some DVDs for my child, because we don't let him watch TV. And so this is one of the things that I picked up. I'm a little bit concerned about how I handle this. I'm just a little bit upset that I didn't bring the appropriate stickers with me. I have 5 viewers. I'm just going to go and get those stickers. Stay with me for 2 seconds. Hold on. I'll just go and grab them. I should have got them before. Right, so you can hear me coming back, and these stickers are rather appropriate and it will serve a great purpose, so I don't suffer any kind of copyright infringements. Right, so I went to the library and I picked up a book for my son. And, it's about elephants or, dogs or, he's a small boy, right? But there was one book which caught my eye. And this book, I'll show you the cover. Hopefully I don't get in trouble for that. It's called "And the People Stayed Home." by Kitty O'Meara. And the people stayed home. Now, before I get in trouble, I'm just going to pop this up here. Now, McGowan lied and people died. Thank you to White Rose, the person responsible for these stickers, and everybody else knows who you are. Thank you very much. But McGowan lied and people died. And this book is called And the People Stayed Home. Now, obviously, I cannot read you the book like story time, even though I am a teacher and I do enjoy reading books to children. Actually, I do, because that's was part of my job. But anyway, so I'll just show you the cover. And the people stayed home. Now, this person, it goes into a lot of detail in the back of the book about why she chose to write this book, all of the problems about lockdown and all those sorts of things that happened. Why did it initially started as a poem and then she turned it into a book? See, because everybody was locked down, and I think Melbourne in Australia was the most locked down city in the world. I have a video on my channel called Cafe Lockdown and Courage, and you can go along and see Michael Griffith, who was out on the streets going up to the memorial, and he was actually shot with rubber bullets. And the people on the streets of Melbourne were out there after, I think it was either 230 days or 270 days of lockdown. And I just thought I'd add that there. But this person here has written a children's book. Now, I must remind you, I live in a small country town. And if these filthy, horrible books are reaching small country towns, you can bet your bottom dollar that they're in your towns. I'm glad that there is a copyright on it and I can't do a story time because I didn't pick this up to read it to my child. I picked it up because I was horrified about the content of this. It's very simple. It is a picture book. It's a picture book, very simple language. But the message inside that book about lockdown, and it goes into while the humans are locked down, the environment can recuperate, establish itself, recover from the human degradation upon it. It's actually it's really, really, really such a theme. There are many themes, but this whole theme about lockdown and then the environment being able to recover because the humans aren't outside and being amongst the environment, that it can recover from the awful, horrible, terrible things that we do to the environment. It really is something else. I'm really glad that Kitty, she's the author. I'm really glad that Kitty got her book published. Congratulations to you. I myself am I'm an artist. I am an illustrator. It is very difficult to get into that kind of niche when you want to get something published, especially when you are an artist. But Kitty did manage to get her book published, and the illustrator, I might add, his name is Stefano, and his co-contributor is Paul. So well done to you guys for producing this book for small children and reconfirming that lockdowns were a good thing, not only for the humans, but also for the environment. And so watch out in your library for the small children section for such books as this. Right, so let's move on to my next show and tell. I do have something else right now, another show and tell. We do have a couple of people here. Let's just close this window here. Let's have a little bit of a look. Hi from Canada, TL Freedom. Hi, how you going? Mark, hello, God bless you too. Thank you very much. We have Cat Black. I feel so bad for Australian people. Terrible lockdowns. Yes, such aggression. God bless. Yeah, I mean, truly, Melbourne really did. I'm over here in Western Australia. I'm on the other side of Australia. So we have, I mean, Australia is the largest island, or being continent, the largest island in the world. I am on the west side, in Western Australia. Melbourne is on the other side, but we are brothers and sisters, and Melbourne really did suffer terribly with lockdowns. Lockdowns, that's a word, isn't it? All right, so next I'm going to show you something else. It's the last item for my show and tell today. Now, back in October of 2022, in Perth, Western Australia, we had a fantastical train line that opened that supposedly connected everybody to the airport, because previous to that, you just had to drive there. And, it's such an inconvenience because actually, if you've travelled around the world, they have fast trains. I spent a lot of my time in Asia. They have bullet trains. It's very easy, simple if you want to go to the airport. Over here in Western Australia, didn't have that. And so our illustrious Premier, Mr. Mark McGowan, decided that he'd tunnel through the earth and promoted these tunnelling machines and all this work, millions of dollars that he was spending to build these tunnels to a couple of different locations to take people to the airport. Not to the airport, because when you get off the train, you've still got to get a bus or a taxi. That was a great success, wasn't it, Mark McGowan, with all the millions of dollars? Anyway, so we went to the opening of the Redcliffe station. It was a huge fanfare. They had people there giving out free sausage sizzles. One of the organisations that refused to give sausage sizzles to anybody probably 3 months previous to that who were unjabbed. They went to community events in parks, and if you weren't jabbed, they wouldn't give you a sausage. But anyway, I digress. So at Redcliffe, they did have this organisation there. They had people lining up. They had a couple of other like food trucks in there and so forth and so on. But they did have our illustrious Premier there, Mr. Mark McGowan. And we were lucky enough to film that. If you go along to Max Freedom, you will see the video for that. Anyway, when we were there, they were giving out show bags. Everybody loves a good show bag. Now, I'm going to show you what we got in the show bag. Now, this is, remember, to celebrate this amazing train line that gets you kind of 3/4 of the way to the airport, despite the millions of dollars spent. Right, so this is the bag. Here we go. This is the bag. It's called Metronet, right? So this is the show bag. This is the bag. Metronet. More stations, more trains, more jobs. Is it now? So that's the bag that everything came in. Right, let's have a little bit of a look. What did we get in the show bag? Remember, it's the show and tell. So we get a little bit of a flyer about the airport line, takeoff. You can go here and there and, get to the airplane. Oh, but mentions on the back that it doesn't actually take you to the airport. You need to get some other transportation. Even after they spent millions of dollars on this train line, you still need to get a little bit of transport. Anyway, let's forget about that. And then they want to tell you that more information. Tunnel guides. They want to tell you about, how they built the tunnel, all this wonderful, blah, 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 blah. Right. And then, look at this. They give you a tattoo with the logo. Little tattoo, right? Brilliant. Temporary tattoo directions. Isn't that nice? Right. Oh, and we're coming up right now. And this one, I haven't opened this. I've kept this. Can you guess what this is? Can you guess? I haven't opened this, and I will now. It's an unboxing. We have an unboxing on Courage is the Cure. I'm going to open this now. This is, have you guessed? is a fucking mask, right? And I'm not going to put it on. Here we go. A Metronet mask. Well done, Mark McGowan, because we all know that marks, oh, that's funny, is it? Mark McGowan masks. Sorry. We all know that masks protect you from infection, right? What a gem. Look at that. What am I going to do with that now? Can I have some suggestions in the comments? What I should do with this? I will just have a quick look. Oh, hi, Rod. You got at least one local Perth viewer here. Thank you, darling. I do appreciate that. Can you see this mask? The Metronet mask. Oh, they've spent some money here because they've got the flexi stuff here where it like goes around your nose. Yeah, I'm not going to put this shit on, but unbelievable. Right, and I do have something extra special. So we had the guide about the train line that doesn't actually take you to the airport. You've got to get some more transport to actually get there. Well done with the millions of dollars, Mark McGowan. And then we had the little pamphlet about getting the tunnelling machines and the workers from overseas, which cost millions of dollars. And then we got this fucking wanky, excuse my language, little tattoo, which is great as well. And then we've just ripped it. We have an unboxing on Courage is Secure for this mask with the special little bendy thing that goes over your nose. Isn't that great? Now, this is where we're coming. Oh, I've actually got two things. Anyway, and so now we're coming up to the activity book for children. Now, you'll really enjoy this. Now, let me just open it. So, activity book, let's see how we're connecting Perth, right? And so, do you see this? The first page is a colouring book, right? It's a colouring book. The first page, it says, this is how a smart city rolls. This is how a smart city rolls. Let's indoctrinate the little children and get them to colour in about a smart city. Clever. Clever people. Right. And so then we go on. Oh, we can go on. Care-free life. And they've got care. You can't see it. Care with the E in brackets. So car-free life. Like all these smart cities. Let's not drive cars anymore. Carefree life, car-free life. This is a children's colouring book. They're indoctrinating our children and providing this propaganda for our children. Let's move on, shall we? This is a colouring book for children. Right, so have you heard about the ultra cool Metronet rail car? Oh, it goes on and on and on. 200 and something rail cars can go up to the speed of 130 kilometres an hour. No, maybe when you're in Asia, maybe when you live in Japan with bullet trains on the Shinkansen, maybe gets much above that, actually. In Perth? Are you kidding me? Public transport is at the heart of a connected community. At the heart of a connected community. Absolute. And they have all these fun facts. Fun facts. Metronet will build up to 22 more train stations. Did you know that? This will make getting to all your favourite places easier. Did you know that? And then it says, that's cool, in a little speech bubble. Because remembering, this is a children's colouring book. This is absolutely disgusting. I was horrified when I saw it. I'm sorry about the beeps. Right, and then at the end of the book, and I don't want to speak too much about this, but I will mention it, is they have a whole page here in colour. The whole rest of the page isn't. The whole rest of the book isn't. About our First Nations people. Don't mistake me. I am a First Nations respecter. Is that a word? Just made it up. But when they put this sort of stuff at the end of a book, you know what they're trying to do, and all of the Australians will know what I'm talking about. This is more filth. It should have been at the start of the book if they actually want to show people that they care. Don't give me that crap at the end of the book, like an afterthought. It's like I was watching a video the other day of Corey White. He's a wonderful comedian here in Western Australia. And when Mark McGowan brought the mandates in and decided that any person who was unbadged couldn't even go outside in public, and Corey White wasn't allowed to be a comedian, and then he went back and he started doing his shows again and was on site and then did a welcome to country and made point that doing a welcome to country and apologised, part of a joke, not delivering it properly, apologised that welcome to country, but I'm sorry and I'm ashamed that couldn't get a good price for the Chinese people that have bought our country. And we put this sort of stuff, and I say we, because we all participate in this stuff and allow it to be in the back of a book. We allow the children to have this in their lives and we put it in front of them to colour. What a disgrace. What an absolute disgrace. And all the Australians will know what I'm talking about. This is disgusting. This should be at the front of the book, even if they want to put it in there. What a disgrace. Oh, and then, of course, stay in touch at the back of the book. Right, so that is my show and tell for this evening. We've had a book from the library, which is disgusting. And we have a show bag from Mr. Mark Gowan opening their Metronet at Redcliffe. What a shame. Let's have a little bit of a look at some comments here. Oh, TL Freedom, is there a PCR test? Now, I'm glad you reminded me because when we were at the Redcliffe station, I'll just go back, and for anybody that doesn't know overseas, our illustrious Premier here, Mr. Mark McGowan, did purchase thousands, and I would dare say millions, of rapid antigen tests. And last year, he got on social media and the news, all the kitty litter mainstream media stations, and they went for a tour around a warehouse with Mr. Mark McGowan with all the rapid antigen tests that he had purchased, and it was floor to ceiling in this warehouse. Now, when we went to the Redcliffe station for the opening of this train line that doesn't actually take you to the airport, there were ladies there with boxes of RAT tests, rapid antigen tests, boxes of them, and they were handing them out. And I just so happened to have a fuck ton, shit ton, of them here. Let's turn it because the blue side's much more attractive, isn't it? Let's turn all these. I do have a lot of them here. Thank you, TL Freedom, for reminding me. And I have kept these for a very special reason. I'll do another video about what I'm going to do with these puppies. But I do remember that day that there were a lot of freedom fighters there at Redcliffe Station, and those ladies were handing these puppies out like nobody's business, and a lot of them went straight in the bin. Did they? Oops. But a lot of us brought a lot of them home. As I said, I do have something really special planned for these. So stay tuned for that video. I'm really looking forward to that. So these are the rapid SARS-CoV-2 antigen test that they were giving and still are giving away at shopping centres, train stations, because Mr. Mark Gowan bought a fuck ton of them and he can't get rid of them. Right, so let's thank you, TL Freedom, for reminding me that I had them right next to me. I am keeping them for a very special reason. Yes, so let's have a little bit of a look here before I sign off. Yes, WTF, absolutely. Good grief, they know how to spend money. Now, my thought is that, you know how when after Christmas they start selling Easter eggs like they are now? So they have to keep telling you that it's either Christmas in November or they tell you that it's Easter in February because they need to sell all this tripe that they've been producing and they need to make their money. It's the same thing with this. They keep telling us that everybody's sick and everybody's dying and you need to test yourself. So you need to get these tests. You need to go and get all of these tests that the government's provided for you because they love you. It's the same thing like Christmas and Easter. They keep telling you that there's a problem so that you go and get one of these. Or you, even worse, you go through one of the drive-through clinics where they shut up your nose and give you a brain injury. It's actually an assault. And they keep telling you there's something going on, and so you use these or you go to the drive-through clinic. Same thing with Christmas, same thing with Easter. That's what they do. That's how they get rid of their tripe that they put upon us. Right, let's have a little bit of a look here. A vintage life. The money wasted is sickening. Absolutely, totally sickening. So much wasted money and resources. And I can tell you, I don't know how many times I've been out interviewing people and I've seen masks and use rat tests in so-called biohazard bags on the street. If it's such a biohazard, why is it lying on the street? Why are they providing these things to people if it's such a biohazard and we can be completely responsible to dispose of them even though it's a biohazard? Makes no sense. Everybody knows this. It's just ridiculous. Right, I might just go for one more and I will shut off the stream. Right, so John Taylor, never tested, not jabbed, they squander our money. Absolutely. And this is one of the things that I've had to say to the school, which my son frequents, because they were giving away these tests last year. I think it was 3 times. They sent us emails to go and pick them up. Lots of 20, because our government can't get rid of them fast enough because they purchased so many and want to convince everybody that everybody's sick, you need to be tested. And so don't use them, never have. We know that these tests were never designed to do what our governments around the world are telling us that they are designed to do. If you just do a little bit of research, you will find out about that. John Taylor, I wonder if they make good fire lighters. Perhaps. I do have a plan for all of these tests. I will be doing a video about that. It's going to be great. If anybody knows, and I'm sure I spent some time in Tennessee. I went to the art museum. Andy Warhol's items are there. It was a wonderful, wonderful time. And he has inspired me to do something with all these tests. So I really do hope you come back and see what I do with these tests, inspired by Andy Warhol. Right, so that is that for today. I'm glad you could join me for a show and tell. Be careful of what your children are seeing in libraries because the propaganda is rife. And it's our responsibility to protect them from this kind of tripe. Because we all know that mainstream media, and it's not just mainstream media now, it's now in our libraries. It's now in our libraries. protect the children. It's our responsibility. Right, so I do absolutely appreciate you all being here today. Until my next video, I'm going to say bye.